Hey all you erudites, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff and this is an Erudite Magic review. Thanks for tuning in. If you love magic books, you're in the right place. I hope that you'll subscribe. Let's get right into this review. Today I want to talk to you about an oldie but a goodie. I am going to be talking about Wise Guy, The Magic of Harry Anderson. Many of you know him as Harry the Hat, Judge Stone, Judge Harry. You've seen him on Night Court, for those old enough to remember those shows. You've seen him on Saturday Night Live. Most people think of him as an actor and a comedian, but in fact, he started off as a magician, and if you asked him what he did, he would tell you, I'm a magician. I am reviewing the second edition, which was published in the early 90s after Harry was done with Night Court and was actually doing Dave's World about Dave Barry. He played the part of Dave Barry, another one of my favorite comedians. The book takes you through his journey to become a professional magician and actor, starting with his childhood, how he became interested in doing magic, and how he performed and busked on the streets, which really shaped how he looked at magic. The book is written by Mike Caveney, one of his good friends, and in fact you can see Mike in the Showtime special Hello Sucker, which most people can see right here on YouTube. The nice thing about the book is that nothing is held back, so Harry Anderson is tipping his hand about every trick that probably means anything to you. As you know, I'm not always a fan of somebody else writing the book for another magician, but in this case, I think it plays pretty well because Mike Caveney has a terrific reputation as his own magic author and has gone on to publish a number of wonderful books, some of which are coming on the review channel in the near future. Stay tuned. Not everything in the book is going to be tricks. There are a number of biographical sketches about Harry and his wife Leslie later, the magic that they created and performed together, the shows that they did, and how they came to be the magical couple that they were. There are also ideas in here on creativity, originality, character development, all very important things for the person who wants to become a better magician. Who better to learn from than one of the best characters ever created? Speaking of character, most of the material in the book is obviously very much contained within Harry the Hat's personality, somewhat brash, streetwise, and the kind of person who would take your money but leave you with enough to buy a taxi fare home. I believe that's even mentioned in the book. So you're going to be able to parrot all of this if you want to, but it's probably not going to play as well for you if you are not a Harry Anderson type performer. I was vaguely familiar with Harry Anderson's work. I had seen his Penguin live and always appreciated the way he thinks about magic and the way he talks about magic. He's very passionate about the art of magic and holds nothing back from his working repertoire. What surprised me a little bit was the amount of material that he had that could play for a mentalist or somebody other than a gambler or con man from the streets, as it were. I wasn't aware of a few things that he had come out with the original Inside Out Bill Switch routine that is taught right here in the book. You don't want to miss that. As a working mentalist, I found a few things that I thought were really neat ideas, and I hadn't maybe seen them in print before. He has an idea for an any card at any number type routine, or at least that's the way my brain interpreted that it could be used. There's also his take on the standard tossed out deck to improve the way that feels to an audience. And in fact, I read something very similar in Bob Cassidy's book, The Artful Mentalism of Bob Cassidy. So clearly Harry was on to something long before it ever saw print in another book. There are several versions of different jumbo card effects, which was a specialty for Harry and played very well for him on TV and in large theaters, although it would play just as well for anybody else in a parlor type setting or even close-up. It's certainly not going to be a table hopping type book. There's far more busking ideas, things that you could perform on TV or for a larger theater full of people. The gold to me was seeing how Harry Anderson made something entertaining, and the ideas behind that he's doing very basic stuff, the Monty. Most people have some sort of Monty that they've done or know, and how is that made entertaining by Harry? He's also got his thoughts on doing a straitjacket escape, and talks how he came up with that idea and how to turn something that really doesn't make sense on the surface of it into something incredibly hilarious that will leave an audience in stitches and remembering it for a long time to come. One of the key things that I think I took away from this book was him talking about leaving the audience with something that they'll remember, presenting them with things that they haven't seen before, and then leaving them with a lasting image, and how he went about doing that. And that kind of got the gears turning in my head about what am I doing to leave my audiences with a lasting visual of my personality and who I am as a performer. While the book didn't spell it out for me how I am going to develop my character, it did leave me with a lot of insights and questions about how I can solve those problems for myself. And I think that's where some of the benefit lies in this book. There are gags covered, there are tricks covered, things with cards, things with coins, mentalism. There's even a really nice pocket watch bit that I had never seen before, but it's very interesting and with a mentalism flair. Harry had a unique way of looking at different props and finding ways to make them work, and where most magicians would stop because something presented a big challenge, Harry just kept going and found a way to overcome whatever wasn't working for him methodologically and make that piece into something entertaining. For example, he had a broomstick levitation that he created himself for a Renaissance fair type performance. He was given a limited budget and told, if you can design an illusion, you get the job. So he designed the illusion, but there was a moment in the suspension where the device made quite a bit of racket. Most magicians would have stopped there or performed it with the noise and given away the whole thing, but not Harry. Harry discovered that if he told people that the magic worked when cowbells were rung, he handed out cowbells to everybody in the audience and had them ring them, and as that's happening, he did what he needed to do, which made the noise of the illusion, and it was totally covered. Genius. And that's the kind of thinking that you'll see behind his routines, and maybe inspire you to go further with what you're already doing. And when you run into those little bumps, give you a little bit of that creativity and put the old Harry Anderson spin on how would Harry have solved this problem. There's definitely geek magic. We all know that Harry Anderson was known for some of that. He tips his needle through arm and discusses why it may look a little bit different on the TV special than most people are capable of performing it. So that was a neat item to have tipped in the book. There are items early on in his career where he was using a skunk trap and performing different things. He uses a finger chopper with a unique take on that because of some of his relationships. He was able to kind of milk that for 110% of the entertainment value. It is a relatively small book, 168 pages here in this second printing, but I still think that it is well worth the money asked for it. You can get this book from Mike Caveney's website, mcmagicwords.com. I'll put a link down below, and it is only $35. So even though it's only 168 pages, what you're getting is a professional magician who rose to significant stardom performing as a magician. He appeared on Letterman, Saturday Night Live, all kinds of different places that a lot of magicians would want to perform, especially as comedy magicians. Harry Anderson did this, and not only did he do it, he's now tipping every single piece that he ever performed for those shows. So you're getting a lot of magic, a lot of workable magic in this book for $35. But again, I think that the real value is seeing how Harry inserted his own personality. And you're gonna see that progression, that when he started, what made him start to be like this con man, what planted that seed early on, and then where he hits his stride and goes full tilt into that character and talks about how you have to become a character that you can live with both on and off the stage. It's not just something that he put on for when he was performing on TV, but in fact, he could be this person all the time. And that's what I've heard from people who've met him, that this was indeed, Harry Anderson was Harry the Hat all the time. In terms of the layout, it's a very pretty book. So even if you're not interested in character development, you're going to find a lot to like about this book. They took all of the pictures at the taping of Hello Sucker, so the photos are high quality and obviously show everything that he performed there. There are a number of line drawings as well, which I always think are cool looking, illustrating how to do a lot of the other things. Some of the stuff in here is going to require some special props. Most of it can be ordered through Mayor Yedid's website. I believe he owns the rights to the manufacture of most of these Harry Anderson tricks, so you can get things there if you want to perform some of these. A lot of it won't require any special props, or you may be able to manufacture your own given the situation. Just depends on which tricks you're trying to perform. But certainly there will be something for everyone in here, for the historian understanding where Harry Anderson came from and how he got to where he is. For those looking for character development, obviously that's there. If you're looking for con magic, it's all here. Mentalism, you're going to find some things there. Gags, it's all here. So there's something for everybody, and if you're interested, it's only $35 from the author. You can get him to autograph it for you, and while sadly Harry Anderson is no longer with us, his legacy lives on through this book, Harry Anderson, Wise Guy. As always, I appreciate you watching and supporting this channel. If you like what you see, please click like, subscribe, and if you didn't get your questions answered, feel free to leave a comment down below. As always, I am an open book, and until next time, keep reading.